Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good? The third intermission. We are back once again for a new episode. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed tapping into your boy Avery and Jason breaking down the trade deadline deals, the biggest deals involving the Canadian teams, the Leafs, and everything else in the league. We're back to our normal schedule, and I'm here in the host chair once again with this time. Jason's here once again. Well, he'll be here maybe later on. We'll see. We'll see. But possibly Troy. We'll see. But for now, for right now, it is myself and Marsha holding things down. Marsha, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Life is good. We're doing great. The hockey world is weird and confusing, and we're going to talk about it.
Right?
Yeah, man. A lot of things happened, a lot of the unexpected. As you said, you talked about some of it, but we've had a couple days to process now. So we can really sit and say, wow, why did this happen?
Yeah, still, it was a thing where Jason and myself we got into it on the last show, and just I think the biggest thing from trade deadline day is realizing that the Boston Bruins could lowball Brad Marchand, which, as that's come out now, that the Bruins only want to extend him. I think it was a couple of years for $3 million, and I
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
you know what? And here's Troy now. I get it. I get Brad Marchand isn't the player what he was a decade ago. I get he declined at the Four Nations face-off. But for a guy who once come back, the guy who was given his life to you for 16 seasons, and you only
Yes.
offer him an extension for $3 million, yo, I'd be gone too.
What's wrong with y'all? Where's the loyalty? You want the loyalty from the players, but you're not going to offer it to them back. That makes absolutely no sense. And you can say the same thing for Mikko Rantanen.
Mm-hmm. Like it was just that I could not believe that. Now it makes a trade or him wanting or him agreeing to a trade all that more makes more sense. It does. And Troy, we have Troy in a cut now. Troy, I'll ask you, what were your thoughts when it came out that the Burnley offered Brad Marchand an extension worth $3 million?
I'm kind of jumping in on what Marcia said there. I'm going to use a little wink quote and say these hoes ain't loyal. Like, they didn't give a damn about Brad. They were just like, no, we don't want to pay you nothing. So, yeah, we'll give you up for a couple of picks. That's just like, it's just like Edmonton giving up on McDavid and saying, okay, well, we don't want to pay you a dime more, so we'll let you walk for a bag of pucks and like a Coke or something, like, like
Right?
we're the respect. Like
Mm-hmm.
him and Bergeron played through injuries that would fall a normal person in like 5 minutes, and these guys are playing almost 100 games a year. Everyone give or take 100 games a year, battered and bruised to make you money and make you profit, and that's the thanks they get. It it reminds me of the scene in The Simpsons when Kirk gets fired from the Cracker Factory, and Kirk goes something like after X many years, it's so long and good luck, and the boss turns and looks at him and says, "I don't recall saying good luck."
That's Don Sweeney.
it,
Yeah, man.
feels, it feels like that.
Oh my gosh, yo, calling him Kirk Bergeron is wild. or or calling him William or calling him Kirk Marchand. That's why. That's but you're not wrong. Like, it's funny because how you look at Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, two guys who not that long ago Bruins fans were standing behind. These were guys who helped get a Boston Bruins team that had the best record in regular season, and now you have got Bruin fans wanting Sweeney out, wanting Cam Neely out, and this is I never thought I would see a day where Bruins fans want to throw Cam Neely in a garbage bin.
The consequences of your own actions.
That is
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Come on.
not wrong. No,
Yeah.
not wrong at all, Marsha. And as we duck out of the trade deadline, we got about 20-ish games left to go in the season for the NHL, and that Atlantic division. That division we're discussing right now is Jason and myself mentioned how tight it is, but now for the Maple Leafs, this is you're entering crunch time now in a division race, and where the Leafs currently are 4 points behind the Florida Panthers, only a point up at the time is keeping of Tampa Bay. So this is a real logjam right now for these three teams, and the Leafs have lost three straight games. Florida remains hot. As the show goes on right now, they've won six straight. So if you want to secure a home ice in some way, you got to find a way to hold off Tampa Bay. Marshall, swing that to you. The fact that the Leafs have been losing at the wrong time right now.
Hmm. You know, I will say it's also slightly promising that Tampa got crushed by Boston the other night. Because it's like we're losing, but they're losing, so who can lose less kind of thing is like the funny, weird way to put it. But no, like we need to snap some fingers in the room and say, hello, wake the hell up. What's going on? Where were the Leafs from like 2 weeks ago? Um, and really like get our heads in the game there because I don't know if it's really a momentum loss or if we're just like not thinking about the things that we're doing as we're doing them. Like we're playing a little sloppy, like we're kind of seeing a little bit of a decline on the goaltending side. Like, is it them being overworked? Are they pushing themselves too hard? Like, these are all the questions that we're asking. But granted, I will say things were going so well for so long that like a little bit of a crash was kind of warranted. And I hope they kind of review tape from those games and say like, okay, we had our downtime, like let's pick it back up and let's continue on this upwards trajectory.
That's the big thing right now is hoping this team can find ways to turn things around. Their upcoming schedule, they'll already be played, but they're on the road in Utah playing the Latter Day Skates, Utah HC.
That'll never get old.
I'm gonna keep until they confirm a name for next season. I will find a way to keep calling them the Latter Day Skates, Marsha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Troy, what are your thoughts on this little skid here as Toronto is trying to hold off Tampa Bay for second place in the Atlantic?
They need to figure it out like right the fuck now. The two games against Vegas and Colorado have showed us that we're not prepared for Western Conference opponents. Like, if by some grace of God we were to get to the Stanley Cup final, we are going to get absolutely dog walked by the Western Conference representative unless something changes in a major way. Um, like Marcia said, we need that team that we had from 2 weeks ago because giving up, what was it, 5-7 in Colorado and then 5 in Las Vegas, like that's a lot of goals to be given up. Um,
Too many.
I
Way
know,
Mm-hmm.
too many.
I know that the game yesterday featured the two new guys, Brandon Carlo and Scott Lawton. Um, I'm not going to comment too much on their performance because obviously it's their first game. They haven't had time to gel. I mean, like they showed up to the game with bags from their old team. And they were saying during the broadcast that Carlo was, he was trying to figure out his gloves because he's been used to the ones he's had for so long. So it's like little minor adjustments for them that's got to come along. But everybody else who's been there for so long, what were you doing for 60 minutes? You know, like watching the game last night, it honestly, Stolars, Marner, and Ekman Larson seemed to be the only ones who knew that the game was being played. Like everyone was just kind of lost. They were every which way. It looked like a mixture of like a Timbit and a men's league game where like everybody's chasing the puck except for like the two people who are actually paying attention. Like, no, let's not go this way. Let's go find the guy that's open. It was disturbing to watch, and I know that's not the Leaf team that we've come to know, not the team that Berube's built. So it's like, is this them just kind of playing out the nerves of the trade deadline? But now that it's over, it's like, are we going to get back to Maple Leaf hockey, or are we just going to continue to screw away these points with sloppy, uncontrolled, undisciplined play. Um, these last few games, like we've been saying all year long, I feel like it's going to come down to the wire to see who wins the division. Um, if things keep going the way they are, the Leafs might slip into a wild card spot, and that's not where they want to be. Hopefully, they can figure out their stuff and get it together and go into the postseason on a strong note. And hopefully, we're not chasing anybody. It'll be people chasing us by the end of the regular season.
And Troy, you mentioned how you mentioned the Timbits thing and how this team looked sleepy. I mean, Colorado, the amount of guys in Colorado who at least had a point is something. And then you go down to who else contributed. This was a Val Nichushkin clinic. He had 4 points in that win. Ross Colton had a multi-point game. McKinnon did. Sam Malinsky did. Like this was a game in which the Colorado offense feasted. And you're right, Troy. If Toronto can handle a game like that against Colorado, if the Leafs do come out of the Eastern Conference, and you have to play against a fire wagon offense, say against a Colorado or Dallas and Edmonton or Vegas, they'll be in some trouble. They'll be in some trouble.
Yes, they will, especially in history's finals past, where we see the team of the West build this like weird, vicious energy that these are characters, these are motions that we're doing, things that you weren't really seeing in the regular season. It's like playoff superpowers with the West, I find. You don't want to go up against that and you're not ready.
Nope. No.
Me personally, I don't think it's a matter of like not being ready. Like when you're playing like good hockey players like Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar, it's kind of hard to isolate those guys. I seen yesterday in that game Nathan McKinnon go from like 2 miles per hour to like 19, 36, 82 miles per hour and almost score on
Yeah.
a breakaway. And this guy
Yeah.
just like, yeah, like that game, the Leafs had no excuse last night to blow that lead, but I kind of get what's going on right now. Like you can't always expect your goalies to make saves. Sometimes you gotta, shut down other teams and stuff. And this was a good test for them. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And plus, you have to take into consideration Chris Tanev not being in the back end with those guys. When he's in the back end and he's playing and he's healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like the Leafs win most of their
Mhm.
games, and he's not there. He's not that anchor. You know what I'm saying? So when
Mhm.
Tanev gets back, the race is gonna get tighter, like Avery said. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not too worried right now. I like the additions at the deadline, man.
Yeah.
And there, as you can hear now, the man Jason is near able to get back to his mic. The man was on his way, steaming in, flying in, faster than a speeding bullet. You know, look in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a yard man.
Just leaving the plantation, bro. Just leaving the plantation. I have to talk fast because the train is gonna make announcements and stuff.
Oh my goodness! But now this, I mentioned this Leafs team that you're going up against. You got Utah coming up, and right now this is the time of the year where if you're the Leafs or if you're anyone in that division who's in that top three spot between Florida, uh, Toronto, and Tampa, this is the place where you can start splitting games. Also, too, you can't get out of there splitting games between teams inside your own conference or inside your own division. Against the Western Conference teams, it is what it is. But if you're at least, you got to find a way to get those 2 points. You can't be having too many more splits against teams that you're chasing or are chasing you.
100%. Like, as you said, like, yeah, it was some here and there, and against the West, maybe it's not really the biggest of deals, but at the end of the day, like, points are points, and you're trying to be at the top. So you got to do what you got to do to get both of them. Because even these past few games, it's not even to say we've gotten 1 point out of it. It's nothing. So like, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We can't fall off the wagon. Not that
No,
we are, but like, you know.
no, you're incredibly right. And the one, I guess, one good advantage right now, the least is that when it comes to, I know they're on the road they've lost games on the road, but one thing too is that when this team comes when they do come back to Scotiabank, Toronto is one of the better Eastern Conference teams when it comes to home records, sitting at 20-11-1. That's the one thing about them and Scotiabank. They're a very solid team at home. I'll give them that.
Yeah, able to pick up that vibe, feeling comfortable at home, which is great. I know we get clowned all the time for the lower bowl, but it's getting a little bit better, so it seems that that energy is helping.
Yo, what? The lower bowl is no longer full of only corporate suits out there eating up their sushi and caviar now? Things are changing?
Ever so slowly, people are going into debt to watch this team because we're sick of the corporate bots.
That has been the thing. It's so funny to see how even before, even before average person got continuously priced out. Even it's funny how as soon as that building opened, as y'all know, it's been corporate suit central. It's so funny how it's been what 25 ish years, and that lower bowl has remained the same of just nothing but corporate suits. That's wild to me.
Yeah, man, it's all in the plans. Like it was literally in the groundwork. So much of those seats were promised to original investors from the Garden that it's like these are generational pass downs, and people just don't have the luck. They don't have that kind of money or connection to be able to top that. And if you want to
Wow.
be one of those people to like join in, maybe you want to get a license, you want to buy a seat license for it. That's 200K minimum to buy a license for the Raptors and the Leafs.
Holy cow.
You know, like if you're trying to find a half season home pass, only things that are available is Upper Bowl, and it's still a couple $1,000s.
Jeez.
So it's chaos over chaos over chaos. Like I've resulted to waiting the last minute and seeing what resale prices are like because standard pricing for this team is chaos. It's too much.
Wow, I know. For those of you listening, there have been times where the group has shown pics of games of either Marsha at games or Jason at games, and y'all are high up. Y'all are high up in them seats.
Yes. Yes, sir. Or like the one time I got lucky, I'm going by myself because you get a selfie seat for maybe $100 and you're like, okay, I can be in the lower bowl, but now I'm around people I don't know,
Oh my,
you know?
wow. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
It's
is wild. Jason and Troy, like, what are your thoughts on that? Because again, I mentioned right there, you guys have been to games, you've seen how it is. Like, just what are your thoughts on that? Just remaining for only the corporate folks at Lower Bowl at Scotiabank.
I, for one, am tired of it. Like because somebody like because people like us are continuously priced out. I get the luxury of watching it from home. But when I turn it on, when they're showing the broadcast, you're seeing nothing but empty seats. And it's like, my black ass could be in one of those seats right now, and I wouldn't leave until the fucking intermission. Because I came to see a hockey game and I want to I want to watch it. That was the purpose of me going. These corporate suits, they're just there to say that they use the tickets. They don't actually give a damn about the sport. They just want to be there, maybe so that way they can get seen on TV and have like their buddy call like, "Hey Bob, I saw you on TV. Good looking, man." And that's about it. Meanwhile, real fans like us, we got to be stuck up in the nosebleed section with cotton in our nose because our nose are literally bleeding from being up so damn high. You can't see anything. Your binoculars don't work. I mean, like the only way that you're possibly viewing that game, like seeing it clearly from an angle that high up, is on a Samsung using the camera function. I mean, I, I don't get why we continue to pander to these corporate types. I mean, yes, it's nice that you got a lot of money to flex, but I mean, flex that money this way, no man. Like, I'm broke. Hook me up. I want to go see a Leaf game. I want to sit in a nice seat too. I want to be up close, banging on the glass, have my beer get knocked over from somebody getting checked into the glass, You know,
Mhm.
like I don't necessarily want to be sitting in my living room, busting up my couch, jumping up and down, screaming at the TV, and have the neighbors call the cops because they think somebody's getting their ass busted in my house. When really I'm just yelling at my TV.
Exactly.
That was a wild tangent, Jason. You.
Yeah, no, like Marsha's right and Troy's right. Yo, these corporate jerks that are controlling the tickets need to free up the tickets for the man them and the people them that really care about the friggin' squad on the ice, man. These guys are there. They have no energy. They go there in their suits and they're stinking cologne and shit and they're shitting up the place, bro. Come out of the Scotiabank Arena, bro. We don't want those corporate guys there, bro, and free up the tickets for some of the kids that can't afford tickets to go to the game, like Troy is saying too. You know, like I was fortunate to be able to like get tickets in section 100, and my next guy, he has a link on tickets, and he's always asking me to go, but I'm on the plantation more times. But at the end of the day, like if I don't get tickets like that, I'm not going. I'm not paying big money to go to a Maple Leafs game with these guys in suits and ties and stuff. And that generational stuff that Marsha was talking about, she's not wrong. She's absolutely right. And it needs to stop. Like they need to fix up the program a little bit better, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people that actually care about the team and care about Maple Leaf hockey and these type of things. And they just don't have the money to go because the cost of living is going up. And it's not fair that we have to be subjected to being in our house and making noise and the neighbors calling the cops on us thinking somebody's getting their ass kicked because we're screaming at the TV and throwing popcorn all over the place and shit. You know what I'm saying? They need to fix up the program, man. Real thing.
Oh man, it's a friend of mine recently suggested, hey, when you're in town next, we should go to a game. I was thinking, cool. So, and here's the thing: is that I've looked at ticket prices even on the resale market for virtually every Canadian franchise, and you can find decent seats for an Oilers game, a Canucks game, a Habs game, a Sens game, whatever. And there's gonna be some seats that are value price tiered. I went on to one of the resale sites looking at Leaf tickets for Scotiabank. A resale ticket in the worst area of Scotiabank, where you're sitting up high, you're sitting up in the stands with Harold Ballard. You're paying $90 for that. For the
And
worst
at
ticket
that
in the
point, you're
building.
probably not even sitting. You're standing. Top row
100%
standing room
standing for
only.
$90. You're standing
$90.
100%,
Yep.
That
and
is
Listen,
that
I'm
doesn't
not
even
saying that.
include that doesn't even include that $90 doesn't even include the $30 pizza slices, bro.
Hey, you know, we're
Like,
talking
I'm
about a
I'm not trying to watch it.
multi-billion-dollar organization that is MLSE. They can survive if the ticket prices and the concession prices were lower. In fact, they would probably do better as a company if they did. But again, we live in the corporate society. So as the trends keep going up for the NHL and all around the league, they're going to try to make compensations in other places. And we
like
have to suffer because of it.
it like arena
They want
prices
us to watch.
are absurd. Go ahead, Troy.
They want us to watch hockey games like we're TNA Sting, up in the rafters, just watching all the action.
It it's wild. Like even when I've gone before and doing things in Scotiabank, I look at it's what's bad when even the Tim Hortons in Scotiabank is overpriced. Why is Tim Hortons overpriced in Scotiabank? Why is Tim's gouging you here?
Fam, for a
Big question.
large double, bro, you're paying like $6 inside there now. You're paying six
You're paying
bucks
the
for a
rent, bro. You're paying
yo,
the
you're
rent.
yo. I've never seen these type of astronomical prices till I actually attended a hockey game, bro. Two slices cost the price for like three pizzas, bro. Insane, bro.
What
I don't know what to say, man. It's just insane, man.
it is
Wonderland pricing of games is insane.
like I don't like when I was there for I was back in town for the All Star game. I figured, I figured, yo, let me go get something quick. Left the press box, went down, and I just could not believe how a few of those stands have, they of course you have the local places, the gourmet places, like seeing a burger combo, 25, $30, mac and cheese, $20. Like what? How is everything here You might find in different buildings. You might find one place that's decent. Every single place is obscene. That rest of the weekend for All Star Weekend, y'all. I went. I ate before I came to Scotiabank because no. I'm not gonna pay spend out money on food. I'm sorry.
I agree because I was doing also weekend too at the convention center,
Yes, that's right,
and
Troy.
the prices were insane. It was $6 for a chocolate chip muffin. Okay. And then when you walk over to where the pizza thing was, it was like 13 something for like a small ass poutine. And like Jason said, the slices of pizza were absolutely like Wonderland level prices. It was absolutely insane. It's just like just because you're doing this major event doesn't mean that you should be able to gouge like that, and especially when us the consumers know what the real prices are for these things. Like, how dare you quadruple mark this shit up? Like, are you kidding me? Like a $6 double double is $2 anywhere else, and you're paying $6-7 for it just because you're inside a specific thing. Man, if you don't take that piece of junk and turn it sideways and stick it where the sun don't shine, man.
You
It
know, you guys fucked up when Troy is telling you to stick something sideways and shove it up your ass, man. Real shit. They,
wild. It's oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. But let's go to a happier story, a better story for the game of hockey. Alex Ovechkin, time of his taping, is now in the single digits mark. He scored this weekend here, goal number 886. He is now 9 back of Wayne Gretzky's record in the Capitals' Sunday win over the Seattle Kraken. And it's yeah, we mentioned beforehand, but it's happening this season. Ovechkin is finding ways to score. He scored an empty netter. He's now on 33 goals on the season. And that record is coming down before the regular season ends, one way or another. Troy, what are your thoughts on Ovi now being, at the time of his taping, 9 back of the record?
That man said, "Fuck a broken leg. I am breaking Gretzky's record." I like it's going to take something of epic proportions for him to not break this record. I think I'm almost certain he is going to break this record. So I mean, at this point, it's like, does he become your unanimous MVP because he broke the record, or do you still look at other candidates? In any instance, I still think it's incredible at the pace that he's going at, because he's late 30, almost 40 now. He's around the same age as Crosby, which I think is like 37. Um, he's changed his style of play a lot over the years to adapt to him getting older and things like that, and how much his body can take on a nightly basis. But it's just a testament to him to show that he's willing to do what it takes to achieve such a unique milestone. Um, Hats off to him. I mean, like, when he debuted in the league, he was one of my favorite players to watch. So I mean, like, I hope he does it. I would like to see some of Gretzky's records get taken down in my lifetime, and right now it looks like Ovechkin's the man to take down at least one of them, and I'm happy to see him do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it felt like the thing is too that Gretzky records, certain ones felt like they were always going to stand, no matter who approached the marks. And 895 felt like one of those records that was always going to be standing the test of time. Jason, did you feel that way growing up watching hockey? That someone would? Do you ever think someone would threaten 894 as a goal record, Jason?
no, I always thought that Gretzky's records would hold, but then I started seeing like players come into the league like Crosby and then Ovechkin and guys like that. Then we see McDavid and McKinnon. Like before Ovechkin and Crosby, I would have said, yeah, those records would have held. But those two guys changed the dynamic, and they changed a lot as to like the way goals were scored and how the game was played, man. And I really hope that Ovi breaks that record, because right now I'm not really feeling Wayne Gretzky on a personal level. So more power to Ovi. I hope he breaks it, man. This would be he would be the first Russian to score that amount of goals in the NHL. You know what I mean? That record would probably be a long-standing record too in the NHL. So I'm rooting for Ovi. I always liked his game. I like the way he's played. You know, he's just watching him work the power play and just being in his office or doing things to help his team win or scoring a goal when his team really needed it. You know, Ovi was that guy. So I'm looking forward to him breaking Gretzky's record this season. And as far as like Gretzky's records holding, like, nah, not now. You have Nathan McKinnon. He already has 100 points. You have Connor McDavid. Like, you have these kind of guys coming in the league right now. The, Somebody's gonna break Ovi's record. It's probably gonna be McKinnon or McDavid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for Ovi. I want him to break it, man. I really do, man.
Mhm. And with Alex Ovechkin, he's someone who came into the league now, and he's always been in large part a healthy player. Hasn't had two major injuries outside of this year where he broke his leg and came back in the same season. And now I think the question is, when he gets there, what is Ovi stopping at? Marsha, when it's all said and done, how many more goals do you think Ovechkin will be able to score? I know he's in his late 30s now, but is he the guy who could possibly be a guy who gets to 920 goals, 930? Like, where do you see Ovi's goal total stopping at?
Yeah, honestly, this season, it's looking like he's gonna be approaching 50 again. But it really is up to how much longer he wants to play. Because I fully see him getting a couple goals past this record, maybe playing one more season and saying, yeah, bye, I'm done. Um, but I feel like he's also the type of player, as we're seeing right now, who when he puts his mind to something, he will do it because so many people were saying, he's getting old. He's reaching like hockey player old. He can't do another 30 goals. What did he do? Another 30 goals. And he's still going. So like I don't think he's gonna do too much to like surpass the record astronomically, but give him another 2 years and I see him doing at least another 40 beyond the record.
No, Marsha, you're not wrong because Ovi might come back like the way Washington is playing. They're first in the division, and they're playing some good hockey. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why Ovi wouldn't come back for another season, especially if Washington's able to like re-sign Chikrin and some other key pieces on that team that help bring them success. I do see that, Marsha. I really do.
And especially since he still looks like he's having fun. Like he's not at the point where this is feeling like work to him. He's doing things, he's making great plays, he's still doing fun things as he's playing.
Well,
It
this is the
like that
thing.
energy's still within him.
Yes, and you can see this every time Ovi's on the ice that he's having a blast and he's having fun. You know what I'm saying? He's
Mhm.
having the greatest time of his life right now.
Yeah,
You can't
no.
say it better.
Yeah, he's enjoying his life, and yeah, it's the thing where we don't know where when Ovi is going to stop. I could see him. I could see him playing. I could see him playing two or three more seasons. But yeah, I think he's gonna set that benchmark so high in terms of goals, be it stopping at say 930 something, 940, 950, where it's gonna be. We thought it was a long time for someone to break Gretzky's mark. It might take longer before we ever see anybody else threatening Ovechkin's goal mark.
Yep, you said it. You said it. Because like I had mentioned previously, scoring in this era of hockey is so difficult between new paths, between different levels of skill, different levels of crazy from various goalies. Like the general on ice play is so much more difficult to navigate that you can't just say, haha, I'm going to score 5 goals a game because the people around me are so slow and the net's big and they're small in the net. It's not what it once was. So seeing someone even get close to that, like it's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, no, it for real, it really will be, and we'll wrap things up on the show this evening with I've paid attention to this tournament for a while because seeing these kids with the wild wacky hairstyles has been always fun to see. But Minnesota State Hockey Championships, for those of you who don't know, the entire state of Minnesota comes out to watch these championships for boys and girls. They pack the XL Energy Center, and their Division 2 class championship. You had Moorhead playing Stillwater, and you had division championships. You had high school hockey getting 20,000 fans. And I just think that is wild to see this tournament attract more fans than an average NHL game. And no others. I mean, yeah, other states do high school hockey well. Other provinces have a big culture of junior hockey, but no other place in this continent does minor or high school hockey like Minnesota. I don't know if you all watch it or pay attention to it, but I thought it was wild. Have you guys pay attention to high school tournaments in Minnesota? Because it's a different culture over or down there, y'all.
Dude, that energy
I
is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't follow high school hockey in the States, but I did see what you're referring to. That was incredible, to be honest. I went to high school with people who left Ontario to go to Minnesota specifically for the hockey program. So that means that they're doing something right down there. It shows that that they care a lot about hockey, and they're not just like a football state or anything like that. Like they care about the sport and they're really passionate about it, which we've seen over the weekend with how packed the arena was just for high school hockey. So I mean, it goes to show that they support their kids, they support the game, which is always nice to see. Hopefully, in the future, we can see different arenas packed just like that with high school sports and the different levels and such like that, just to show that like they enjoy the game and they like it at all levels, that they're willing to come out and support it.
Totally. Jason, what are your thoughts on that? So we got the thoughts from Marcia and Troy on that. What are your thoughts on seeing how they go wild for high school hockey in Minnesota?
Yo, hockey is huge in Minnesota, brother. Matthew Nyes went to Minnesota. What's the youth there on Utah? Oh, I forgot his name right now, but he went to Minnesota's very heavy on hockey, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, this thing is gonna make a lot of noise, man. This thing is just baiting out my location right now, too, man. I need the
Okay,
fam.
you're good. You're good.
You're good.
But yeah, no, hockey is very big in the state of Minnesota, man, and I think that's good for the game as far as expansion and growth and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And especially being a young kid playing hockey, like you want to be able to like play on like big ice surfaces and inside of like the if that city has a team in the NHL, you want to be able to play on that rink, and you want like that place to be ram packed like it was like an NHL game. So that's an experience those kids will never ever forget in their lifetime, man. And I'm glad that the Minnesota Wild allowed that to take place and to take happen for those children that took part in that little tourney there, man. I thought it was a good thing, man. I thought it was a really good thing.
And it's cool because some of those kids, yeah, are gonna be NHLers, or they're gonna play in the P-Dub, or they're gonna play overseas. But there are some kids who, this is it for them. This is all they're gonna play in hockey. This is their peak. Or they might play college hockey, but they might not play pro, or they might go to college. But for some of those kids, this is their peak. So to have that showcase of being able to play in an NHL building packed, where it's you got the games going viral, you've got a TV deals showing this. I think that is so cool. And hey, I don't know how we would do it though, but there's two events in the hockey world I think would be fun to take their intermission to one day, and that is the high school tournaments in Minnesota and the Beanpot tournament in Boston. I think those would be cool.
I'm here for the experience. Ready to do it because,
Yeah.
like I said, that's a different level of energy, great vibes. Like a lot of good people coming together to say, I love hockey. I want to support the people of my state.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that is a level of unity, community care, of togetherness that we are missing so much from this world. and we need to keep bringing that back.
Yep. Yep. No, I could not agree more with that. And and we'll wrap things up here on the third intermission. We'll come back next week. We'll stay hot. We'll keep pushing for, cheaper seats at Maple Leaf games as we
Yes,
all
sir.
want to see that happen. And any last thoughts before we go, gang?
Don't let
Um,
the second spring fool you. We still have winter left. The early spring.
yes, on that note, if you haven't changed your clocks yet, change them. You've had all day to do it. Don't get fooled. Um, Also, I posed a question on Twitter, and I'll ask our listeners here. For those that have ever played hockey, whatever, doesn't matter what level you've played at or you currently play at, I want to know what is your favorite stick and what was your favorite curve. I know, like every once in a while, like a player will have like a specific pattern and curve, and then it'll more or less get renamed and passed along to the next person who kind of uses something similar. Um, right now, I'm using a CCM stick with a McDavid curve, and I'm switching back and forth between that and a Winwell. Surprisingly, they still make sticks, but yes, I'm
Wait, I
switching
did not
back and
know
forth.
that.
Yeah, Walmart screwed up the pricing, and I bought my sticks for 2 cents. They were $70 sticks, and I bought them for 2 cents. So
Oh,
that,
shit.
that was a deal in itself. But my favorite curves are the Reebok Pavel Datsyuk stick and the Warrior Henrik Zetterberg. I still have the Warrior Henrik Zetterberg. I need to find the wooden extension that goes in the end, and I also feel like the stick's on its last legs. Like that stick has gotten me through so much. Like it's been stepped on. Like I'll go in the garage and take a picture and put it in the group chat. But like this stick has been so used and abused, like I'm scared I'm gonna break it, so I stopped using it. But I can't find a curve that is as close to those two because I find since because I've been using the McDavid CCM curve for the last season and a bit, and my game has I'm sure this goes with a lot of players, especially the pro ones. Like if I don't have the right stick, my whole game fucking crumbles. I'm having a terrible season, both like playing offensively and defensively. Like I I can't stick handle with the McDavid curve. Like I bought it because I thought the curve was good, but like I've got nothing. I get no traction, no nothing. Like all my passes are just rolling off the end of the stick, and it's just like, man, I feel like I'm a beginner playing hockey. I've been doing this for like 20 years, like 20 plus years. Like I don't feel like my skills are declining as bad as Jason Allison's was, but like I don't know. The stick means everything to my game, and I'm not comfortable with it. I want to know what stick you guys use, what curve it is, and if y'all got any links on like a Datsyuk or a Zetterberg curve, like let me know. Let me know because I I need to get my game back. I don't like. I'm not playing like myself, and I don't like it. I know it's
Yeah.
just men's league, but I don't know. It's weird playing the game I love, knowing I'm not doing well because of the stick I'm using.
The feeling is the feeling. That's okay, Troy. You don't have to explain yourself for the vibes being off, but that's okay. But I've never played. I am level one coach certified. Can I skate properly? No. Have I played? No. But doing some quick research, I think I might have found a couple links. They might be super pricey and not as widely available, but I've seen some people talking online on Reddit about which things might be similar to the Datsuk curve.
Yeah, like I've seen that his was like a super specific P38 pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they said that it's okay for stick handling and things like that, but like it's not the greatest for like wrist shots and things like that. I
Yeah.
beg to differ. I beg to differ. Like I enjoyed my stick handling game. Just the things you could do with that specific type of curve for the kind of player that I am. Like, because those curves were basically identical. Like, you could switch them out and
Mm,
still have a phenomenal game. I don't understand curves like a Veskin or even Marner's. I don't know if you've seen the curve on Marner's stick. Like, that is absolutely insane. Like, how do you fucking do anything with that shit? You know,
yeah,
like,
that's a great
he's gotta
question.
spend like time, like forever, just trying to break in the stick, trying to get the right feel for that. Whereas for me, like picking up the Tattoos and the Zetterberg, I'm instantly comfortable with it.
Yeah, man, you're right. You're right. Because like at that point, would you say it's more worth it instead of trying to fiddle around and like figure out what might be the closest? Would it be worth it to just go custom?
For men's league, I don't know. Maybe
Mm,
that like just to appease my peace of mind, it might
yeah.
be. 1/6 I would like to try out, but it's just slightly out of my price range. I want to try the Swift hockey stick.
Hmm.
I want to try those. And every time I have the money and I click on the link to find the stick I want, because I think the closest to what I want ends up being a P88.
Uh,
And the pricing sometimes, because like I remember like his whole YouTube video was like, oh, don't paying $300-400 for a stick that breaks in 3 seconds, but his sticks are like almost the same price. So it's like, like how do I justify spending that much on one stick when I can get two for the same price? You know,
right.
because like I got to keep in mind budget too, right? Because like
Of course.
with with how the economy is, and you know hours being cut at work and all this kind of fun
Yeah.
stuff, like you got to be careful with your money, right? And I can't justify explaining to Dakota, yeah, I bought $170 stick. You know, like she's gonna take that and shove it up my ass. And you're gonna like pay bills with this.
Hey, so the internet, Troy's birthday was in January. As a really late birthday gift or a really early Father's Day gift, you know what to do.
He needs a new twig. He needs
Yes.
a new twig.
He's got to show up the men in the men's league. Come on now.
Right? We need point of game Troy out here in these streets in the men's league.
Mhm.
All Troy needs to do is get a Jason Spezza curve, like Ottawa Senators Jason Spezza curve.
Oh my God.
I
Oh
know. During one
my.
of those, I used the Paul Coffey curve once. I took a shot and I broke somebody's wrist with it.
Dear
Like that is
Lord.
that is
Wow.
the most dangerous curve I've ever seen in hockey. And
Jeez,
like it
jeez,
wasn't even a
jeez.
hard wrist shot. The guy was just he was trying to screen the goalie and he just kind of got shoved and he got pushed and it hit him right on like the tip of the cuff of the glove and but still caught him enough in the forearm. And we were young kids then and we weren't wearing like the forearm protectors and nothing like that. It was the tiny little dinky elbow guards and nothing but space between that and the end of the glove, right? So like poor guy took a shot off his arm and fucking broke the guy's wrist and it's like I didn't shoot it that hard. And then he's looking at the curve on my stick and he's like, well that's why it broke. Look at this fucking thing. It's like a boomerang, the Paul Coffey curve.
Yeah, that's exactly what it. Yeah, you need those boomerang curves, bro, to be able to cup the puck, bro.
Yeah, like it sticks like that is why they have like the curve rule in the NHL where like if you can slide a puck underneath it, you can't use it. Like you
Mm.
could definitely slide a puck and like a couple of quarters underneath it.
Yeah, that yeah. I'm so fixated on Troy mashing people's wrists with the coffee curve. That's wild.
Hey, Paul Coffey was a great skater, but he scored some crazy goals too, bro.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, not wrong at all, Jason. So hey, if y'all wanna tap into Troy's question, and, send him a quick little Father's Day gift, you can hit us up on the social media page, on Twitter at Toronto Third. And with that being said, like always, thank you all for allowing us to grace space in between your head top. We are out, but until then, Jason, what do people need to drink?
Water. Drink water, people. Stay hydrated, man.
There you
Don't
go.
forget while you're
Oh,
drinking your water, yo business.
Facts.
Oh, and with that being said, we're out of here. Deuces.
Bye.
Peace.